Right, before we start, you got your phone there with the camera facing me. Right, before we start, you got your phone there, with the camera facing me. Can you turn it off? Turn it off.
Is there a reason for that?
You're not allowed to record here, because if you have asked, you're not allowed to record here, because if you have asked, security, they'll take it off here.
Yeah, I'm just curious as to why.
That is the law of the court.
But the camera's recording me.
Yeah.
And you're a public official,
You're
are you?
not supposed to be recording by proof of it.
There's no expectation of privacy in public.
You need to turn that around and put it in your pocket.
Oh, okay. Public.
You need to turn that around and put it in your pocket.
Oh, okay.
What I'm doing is I'm going to ring the North Shore District Court and just ask a couple of questions. I want to know who the building manager is. I want to know if it's a public building. And I want to know which law it is that JT was saying that says I can't record a public official in a public place, in a public building. Phone number 9165720.
What mainline number you had called is no longer active. The Ministry now has an 0800 number. For calls from a landline, please hang up and call 0800 courts. 0800 268 787. For inquiries about fines or payment of fines, dial 1. For enforcement and debt recovery, dial 2. All our representatives are currently attending to other calls. Ministry of Justice, you're speaking to Laura. How can I help?
Hi Laura, how are you?
Thanks, how can I help you?
Yesterday I was in at the North Shore District Court speaking to a gentleman at the counter called JT. Now, when I walked up to him, I had my cell phone in my pocket, and for some reason he presumed I was recording him and refused to speak to me and ordered me to put my phone in my pocket. He told me it was against the court's law and that if I had come through the doors and security was there that they would have taken it off of me. Is that correct?
I don't know, sorry. That's the first time I've ever heard of anything like that.
Because, I mean, he was saying that it was against his wishes to be recorded if it was going, and I was kind of confused because isn't he a public official? And like, is the North Shore District Court, is the courthouse itself, is that not a public building?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah. So it's perfectly okay to record a public official in a public building?
I'm not certain of the grounds around that. If you like, I can see if I can get a hold of this manager and you can speak to him.
Who is the building manager for North Shore District Court?
Yeah, I'll just have a look here. That is...
Because I'm also concerned, you know, he's telling me that someone's going to steal my property.
Sorry, who...
Well, if he's telling me security would have taken my phone off of me, well, I'm pretty sure that you guys or whoever else that works in the building's allowed a cell phone, and there's sort of no different rules. So why would someone take my cell phone off of me?
Okay.
It just seemed really bizarre.
I mean, I do know courts do searches sometimes, so there's a...
With consent, but yeah.
I don't know much more than that.
Hmm.
What I can do is see if Fiona's available. And
Sure.
Fiona Parks, she's the court services manager at North Shore.
Okay.
I can see if she'll speak to you.
Sure.
What's your name?
My name's Mark.
Okay. Alright, if she's not there, would you consider leaving a message for her to call you back?
Sure, that's not a problem.
Okay. I'll just be a moment. I have reached the voicemail of Fiona Parks, Court Services Manager at North Shore District Court. I'm currently out of the office and I will not be returning to the office until Tuesday the 3rd of March. In my absence, please call the main call centre on 0800 268
It's the 12th of March.
0800 Courts. I won't be clearing my messages until Tuesday the 3rd of March. Thank you. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press hash for more options.
Yeah, hi Fiona. Didn't quite get the message there because it's past the 3rd of March, but needless to say, not to mind. My name's Mark. I was in at the North Shore District Courthouse yesterday talking to a gentleman across the counter by the name of JT. Before I got to even speak to him, I had my cell phone sitting in my top pocket of my shirt. He pretty much presumed straight away that it was recording, ordered me to switch it off, well not so much ordered, asked me to switch it off or to put it away in my pocket, told me that if I was to come through security that they would have taken it off of me, and told me that it was against the court law to record, and also that he had the right to not be recorded, which to me is opposite. I've been under the belief that the North Shore District Courthouse itself is a public building, that the man behind the counter was serving in a public capacity as a public servant possibly, please correct me if I'm wrong, and there's no expectation of privacy whatsoever in a public building. I was being recorded, and there's a giant notice in front of his glass window that says that there's, cameras operating. So as to why he took offence to my phone being sitting in my top pocket, I have no idea. It was very accusatory. He said it was against the court law. I'm just a man. I was there to try and find out some false allegations or some dealings with the New Zealand police and some false allegations against my person. And I wasn't too appreciative of just instantly the way he seemed to think that he had some sort of authority over myself. Last time I checked, he doesn't have any authority over myself whatsoever. So, if you could please give me a call back on 4 any time, that would be awesome. I'd like you to also please cite the law that he's referring to. He said that it's against the law. I can only presume that he's meaning a legislative rule of society, such as an act, because there's 30 or 40 different types of laws, so I take it he's meaning legislature. If you could please cite me what legislature that means, and whether or not it's referring to myself, a man, or whether or not it's referring to a person. If it's referring to a person, I'm curious as to which type of person JT believed I was. As I say, I'm just a man. So yeah, that'd be awesome. Get back to me. Thanks very much. And I will be in court next Tuesday on the 17th at 10 AM to basically ask for a defended hearing in regards to Neil Winterbottom and his false allegations. But that's another matter entirely. I'd like, please get back to me. I'm really curious. I didn't like the idea of being threatened that my property was going to be taken off of me without my consent. So yeah, let me know. That'd be awesome. Bye-bye.
Phone or switch up a device, is that right?
Well, basically I just come up to the counter and JT saw the phone in my pocket and asked me to turn it off, and then told me that if I'd come through the security it would have been taken off of me and all that jazz.
Right, before we start, you got your phone there with the camera facing me. Right, before we start, you got your phone there facing me. Can you turn it off? Your phone
Is there a reason for that?
You're not allowed to record here because if you have asked You're not allowed to record here. Security, they will take it off here. Security, they will take it.
Yeah, I'm just curious as to why.
That is the law of the court.
But the camera's recording me.
Yeah.
And you're a public official,
You're
are you not?
not supposed to be recording.
And I mean, I didn't appreciate that. I wouldn't like the theory that someone's going to take my property off me without just cause.
Okay, I understand that definitely, and that's right. I mean,
You know, it was somewhat threatening to have, you know, someone who's acting as a public official. He also said that he had the right to privacy where he was. Is that correct? Did he have the right to tell me to stop recording while he's acting as a public official in a public capacity, in a public building?
the person to go through, if you go through security, if you've got the security up and running at that time, then you go through a search station.
Yeah.
Yep, so they would take your items off you to go through the screening device
Sure.
as you come into court.
Well, they would ask me to release them. They wouldn't take anything from me.
They would ask you to put it through.
Exactly. I just wanted to make sure that it's my property and it's not anyone's to take.
Yep.
You know, the assumption that it's okay for anybody to take something off of me is incorrect.
And then with regards to recording in a public place, yes, it is a public place. Members of staff, if they don't want to be recorded, they can ask you.
Sure, of course, and I would not have had an issue in the world if I was recording. If he had said something to me, I would have blurted out. If, you know, no issue there, none whatsoever. But being told, like some parent telling a child, not okay. Not when he's being the public servant. No way.
I would I understand how you feel about coming across like that.
Well, that's how it come across. I mean, he had no authority or capacity to tell me, just a man in front of him, what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just a man with right and authority, end of story. He's the one acting in the lesser capacity as a public servant, not myself, and he should learn not to dictate to people that are coming in there for a service. I mean, I was just asking about certifying documents.
Yep.
It's all I was asking him. And to him to put that threat across, and I mean, I wish no one ill harm. I'm a peaceful man, you know. It's that simple. But the whole theory that he said it was against the court law. Now, what law is he citing? Is he citing a law? Is he citing legislation? You know, failure to distinguish between a law and an act of statute is gross negligence, equaling fraud. He's trying to establish that an act or statute is a law, which it isn't.
There's no rule which people recording in a public area in the court. You're not allowed to record in the courtroom. There's no rule which people recording in a public area in the court. You're not allowed to record.
But you might not be. I mean, I hadn't established myself as being a plural. I wasn't a man acting within a person, within a society. I was just a man. No joinder between myself and any person had been established.
If there's any other areas like media, they need to request.
Oh yeah, I've had a look at those media rules on the Ministry of Justice website there, and for media to be asking permission and so forth.
That's right, yeah.
But I mean, myself, from many years ago I suffered brain injury. I had an aneurysm and my memory's not the best, so I prefer recording for my own records, for no one else's. And I don't care who's in front of me. That judge at the counter's got no more authority over myself than I do. So, I mean, he can ask me to turn off something if I've got it recording. I don't have to abide by that.
But if you're in court tomorrow, actually in the courtroom itself.
Well, I'm going to be there in special appearance just as a man. I'll be presenting myself to the court, and I expect the plaintiff to appear, even though it's a preliminary hearing. That's only for the judge to establish jurisdiction over myself in the first place.
But if you're wishing to record in court tomorrow, then you need to make a request to do that.
If I wished to record in court, I would have thought that I could do as I wish.
Well, you'll be requested to start some recording device off.
That would be fine. But can a request be declined?
I will leave that with you.
Well, no, it's not. These are ambiguous words, and a request can be made. If someone wants to order me to do something, that's fine, no problem. I'm happy to produce or perform any order, because I always charge for any order that's given to me. But in the whole theory that a request is law, that's where we were all in this problem in the first place. I had a man pull me over and try and assume authority over me for doing no harm or injury, which is why I'm having to go through this whole district court thing in the first place.
And we're like the facilitators of we've got the prosecutors come in and the judicial officers, and we are in the middle of that.
Yeah.
So for tomorrow,
I mean, I'll be there present in court, and I'll be there representing that matter, but you know, to me, there's not even a valid claim. I've been trying to contact James Gallagher, the prosecutor, in regards to the matter.
right.
I've asked him for a signed sworn affidavit. Now, I came in the other week or so ago, and I asked what it would take for me to bring a private prosecution against that man, Neil Winterbottom, who ran over my foot on that day. He caused me injury. Now, I was told that I would require a signed sworn affidavit, a statement of facts, and a charging document to do that. So, for that man, Neil Winterbottom, to have a charge against my person or myself, would not he require a signed sworn affidavit? Otherwise, is there a valid claim?
That's really something for you to argue with.
Well, of course I wish to clarify it. I mean, I'll argue till the cows come home, because to me argue means clarify, does it not? Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not legally trained. I've given New Zealand Police, Neil Winterbottom, Mike Bush, the police commissioner, I've given them all notice that I'm just a man. I don't understand legalese, legal terms, legal customs, and I'm not a member of the legal society. So how can I be... I mean, I'm an idiot legally. So how can anyone contract with an idiot?
Tomorrow...
You probably understand the words I'm using and what I'm meaning by them.
But also, tomorrow, if you need to speak to anybody and seek advice before you go into court, then our duty law...
Well, I'll be at court. I won't be in the court, I'll be at the court.
Either in the court or at the court.
There's, again, big difference.
To actually to speak to you before the court actually...
What is the name of... Can you tell me what courtroom I'll be in tomorrow and the name of the... take it easy, Justice of the Peace? Will he be acting under his oath tomorrow, or will he just be acting as a deciding figure?
So what have you notified of your time you've got to be at court tomorrow?
10 o'clock in the morning. Sure. Sorry, what was your name again?
My name's Carl Lewins.
Thank you, Carl. Sorry, I'm nothing personal against you. I just sort of get really head up over, you know, another man telling me he thinks he's got right and authority over myself, and he doesn't. We're all equal, are we not? It's not a maxim of law that equality is paramount and mandatory.
Okay.
The date of birth of the person,
Yes.
well, of the person, is the same. I mean, I'm a man, I was born, I was there at the time, but I can't honestly remember. You'd have to ask my mother or the doctor. That would be third-hand information for me to tell you that. But I can tell you what the name of the date of birth of the legal person. Do you understand what I'm saying?
10 o'clock.
Was that what you were wanting?
Looking details and I'll check to see which
Cool. I should have asked when I was in last week. I was talking to Rachel there. How hard is it to actually, from a layman's so perspective, to bring private prosecution in New Zealand? I mean, I've heard of Graham McCready's case.
Well, yes, we do have quite a few prosecutions in court.
Okay.
Nobody doesn't do it, so that option is there for 2 people.
Cool. Cool. So I sort of got the impression that it's not done very often, I suppose, it's not done without, I suppose, a lawyer and representation, I suppose. Whereas I've
People go through a lawyer to get advice beforehand to make sure they got everything correct.
Now, is it true that I require a signed sworn affidavit, or that I need a signed sworn affidavit for this to be available or not? And if there's a duty solicitor that you could recommend would be helpful too.
Duty lawyers will be present the morning from 9 o'clock.
Okay. Sorry, you're cutting in and out there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
So when you arrive at court tomorrow, there will be a number of duty lawyers available.
Sure.
I don't get the roster to tell me who's actually going to be here, but a duty lawyer supervisor.
Okay.
I think that's Mr. Spring, and he will pass you on to one of the duty lawyers who'll be able to help you.
Cool.
To speak to somebody tomorrow.
Okay.
That's set down for courtroom 4.
Courtroom 4.
And that will be the Justice of the Peace.
Do you know the name of the Justice of the Peace at all?
It's the fourth one of the cave, right?
So 2 Justices of the Peaces? And are they acting under their oath, or are they just acting as an administrative capacity?
Justice of the Peace.
Okay. I'm hoping you can also clarify something for me. I've asked Rachel and Nadine. Both of them... Sorry, no, it was Jenny across the counter there a week or so ago. I've asked them both and not really got a straight answer. I mean, my understanding was that it was a civil enforcement sort of thing here, but now I'm finding out that you guys deal with the criminal cases, and for it to be a crime, surely it must have a harm, loss or injury. And they're all saying no. And I'm saying, well, so is this a criminal, is there a crime? Is there a corpus delicti? Is there an injured party? And they're saying, well, there doesn't have to be.
It's an infringement.
Okay, so is an infringement a wrong?
It's something which falls under the jurisdiction of the Justice of the Peace, and that's why it's being held in that court.
So it says judge alone trial, so is that referring to the JP?
They hear defended hearings within the Justice of the Peace jurisdiction as well.
Okay.
If it's not, if someone doesn't...
The reason I'm the reason I'm chasing the signed sworn affidavit from Neil, the man that was pulling me over on the day, was that to me, if it's not signed or sworn, then it could be any sort of lovely story, any piece of fiction. But if he's willing to put his name behind it and sign and swear, like, I'm happy to verify anything in an open court of record, no trouble. But if and I've got video, the entire thing was caught on videotape. And he's saying I was speeding past him 50 plus an hour. The videotape shows me doing 35k. So he's on the statement saying he's using it, knowing it's going to be used as evidence, and that it's an offence to mislead. Well, isn't that misleading? Wouldn't I want to get that sworn in? At what point do I get him signed and sworn something, or to testify what's sworn in? I suppose is my question. Yeah, I've asked for any and all documents.
That will give you all the relevant documentation. Which
has been supplied, but the only thing that isn't signed or sworn or even initialed or dated is the statement from Neil. So is he the plaintiff bringing the claim against me? or is it this person called New Zealand Police, which I've never met?
I think it's something you might need.
Because how can he be the plaintiff and yet a witness?
That might be something to discuss with them tomorrow at the hearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, I'm just getting completely lost with it. I mean, I know the difference between right and wrong, I just don't understand any of this offence stuff, and I asked him at the time what an offence was, and he just didn't answer me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I asked him if he knew the difference between legal and lawful. He said he didn't.
Yeah.
So how can he enforce it? He said I'd broken the law, and I said, well, is that a law or is that a rule? And he goes, it's a rule. So which did I do? Did I break a rule or did I break the law? Which type of law? There's over 30 or 40 different types of law out there.
Maybe, again, something to discuss.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, okay.
Well, thank you very much for your time and hearing me out. It probably sounded a bit strange to you, but I'm just trying to get some sort of grasp as to what's going on.
Maybe there'll be some value if you talk to Juice Lawyer tomorrow when you come in first off, if you want to.
Yeah.
And then they courtroom for the actual the matter when it goes ahead.
Okay. As long as I'm not going to get trespassed upon or accosted by any security when I walk in the doors, I'm happy with that. If you're happy to tell me that's a public building and I have perfect free access to do so.
It's a public building. The only thing we ask is if we do the security screening, then people have to go through the security screening to come into the building.
Oh, sure. I mean, I've been in the Waitakere, courthouse before and went through the screening and just put all my cameras in the tray and I went through no problem, which is, why I couldn't understand. JT was telling me it would have been taken off of me. Do you understand where I'm coming from there? Because, to be able to go into one courthouse in Waitakere through the security screening, all the bells and whistles, and I had more than one phone and I even had a camera on me. And to be allowed to pass through that and to sit there with my camera in the foyer, there was no issue. So why would he do that and try and, tell me something that just, to me, didn't ring true? So, can something be said to JT just to make sure he's clear on that? Because I don't want him to do that to another person.
We'll speak to him. He's actually on leave, but I'll speak to him when we'll speak to him. He's actually on leave, but I'll speak to him when
Fantastic.
Okay.
Awesome. Alright, you have an awesome day, eh?
You too.
And I'll see you tomorrow, if you're there.